All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station here back for this Tuesday 7-game slate on FanDuel and DraftKings. If you guys can, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Let's jump in. Let's talk about the 7 games here. We got some good ones overall. Fun little slate. Nothing really as a smash spot here. We got the Rangers and the Jets facing off. Two of the best teams in the league going at it there. And then I think I got some hot takes here overall. I think a couple of these teams I think are wrongly favored. One in particular here, and I think it's definitely going to be a way to get different here tonight in tournaments. But like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Let's jump in, let's talk, and let's pull up the stone here and walk game by game to kind of cover on where I'm looking. My slate plan is already published at shipitnation.com. If you are not a member, use that promo code NBA15, get you access to any membership plan, 15% off for life. So our all access pass with an optimizer is $85 a month, best rate in the industry. No better time than now to join there. That will be going away shortly here, but let's talk this slate here. First game on the slate, we have the Maple Leafs and the Senators. This is one of my favorite spots of the night here. I think Toronto kind of steamrolls Ottawa here a little bit. I like this spot quite a bit, even though Austin Matthews is still out for Toronto here. Toronto's coming off of 3 straight wins with outscoring their opponents 11-2. So I really like this spot here. Ottawa can definitely be scored on in bunches here overall. And give me this Toronto spot right here. William Nylander, John Tavares. You can add in McMahon, but I would rather throw in Matthew Knies or Mitch Marner instead of Bobby McMahon. You can definitely leave him off the stack. You can include him if you need the salary there, but I want to grab the other guys. So I really like John Tavares, William Nylander, and then pick one of Knies or both of Knies and Marner to add on there. If you only grab one of them, adding on a Morgan Rielly to that stack at $5K is a really nice price point there. I like that quite a bit. Chris Tanev continues to always be a great option from a value D-man perspective. He blocks a ton of shots here, plays close to 20 minutes, so never hate him. But overall, I mean, this Ottawa squad last road game in Buffalo gave up 5 goals. They gave up 2 goals to Boston, who I don't think is overall very good this year compared to what they were last year. So I like the spot quite a bit here for Toronto. Toronto's a better team on home ice overall, and the numbers look pretty good for Toronto here. Sticking to kind of the main guys here, the Tavares, the Nylanders, Matthew Knies, Mitch Marner, and Morgan Rielly are kind of the main guys I'm sticking to. If you need some salary savings, adding in a Max Domi, who's got a nice salary price there at $3,600, he's fine. You compare him with Nylander, obviously, and Marner, get that full line stack. You get 2 power play guys, and then throw in a Morgan Rielly to make that stack totally fully correlated on that power play, and then you save some salary as well. So I don't hate that, but really like Tavares, really like Nylander, really like Marner, Matthew Knies, and Morgan Rielly, like I said. On the Ottawa side, Brady Tkachuk is always a viable option at 8,700, one of the best spend-up wings. Anytime he's on the slate, he's fine. But overall, I like the Maple Leaf side. Stellaris is probably my favorite spend-up goalie. However, if you are not playing Toronto here, Linus Ullmark is a very good goalie. He's 7.1K, one of the cheapest goalies on the entire slate. In tournaments, I don't think he's the craziest play in the world. Even if Toronto scores 3 or 4, I still think he could do enough at 7,100 in terms of saves to get you there in tournaments. So in teams you're not playing Toronto, Linus Ullmark definitely a solid option. He is my favorite spend down goalie on the slate. Jump in the next game here. Battle of two wagons here. Let's see what kind of fight we get here tonight. The Jets heading into New York. Jets 14-1, obviously to start the year. Just an absolute wagon. They control your zone, smash mouth hockey in your face. Best defense is obviously good offense, right? And that's what the Jets kind of display every time they're on the slate. In terms of DFS here, I could see this game going both ways here. I could see this be a spot where the Jets finally lose another one here. But realistically, my interest does reside more on the Jets side than it does on the Rangers side here. However, it's hard to figure out which way this is going to go here. Both these goalies are good here. Shesterkin should be in net for the Rangers here. Even if it's Jonathan Quick, I don't hate that. But if it is Igor and Hellebuck, that's two of the best goalies in the league. Hellebuck split 1-1 last season, gave up 5 goals across 2 games overall. And then Shesterkin doesn't have the greatest history. I mean, last time Shesterkin faced the squad, or Jonathan Quick, excuse me, he gave up 5 goals. So I would assume it is going to be Igor in net here tonight. If that's the case, I think this game plays a little bit under overall. But you could see offense here. On the Jet side, I prefer line 2 with Ehlers, Nemesnikov, and Perfetti. Just like targeting line 2s on the road. Should get a little bit better matchup. I think the Scheifele, Kyle Connor, Velarde line, who is also very good. I like that line a ton. I just think they draw somewhat of a tougher matchup here with the Rangers being able to dictate the home ice matchups here. But they're still solid options. Scheifele at 6,900. Don't really love that price point, but hard to argue. I mean, he's averaging about a half a goal a game, almost assist per game, and almost 2.5 shots per game, and he's playing over 20 minutes of ice time. Hard to ignore that. Kyle Connor, one of the best wings in all of hockey, and then Gabe Velarde at 4.8K, just way too cheap still. I mean, I don't know what this dude needs to do for DraftKings to raise his price. I mean, he's almost averaging a half an assist and half a goal per game, and the dude is 4,800 skate next to Connor and Scheifele. So love the Jets here. I think I prefer the Jets for sure in terms of tournaments. I just think Kelly is just an absolute beast. He's one of my favorite goalies on the slate at 7,600. Ownership, as you can see, is going to be held in check because nobody likes to really play teams against or goalies against the Rangers for a good reason. They're a very good offense here, but that just leads to more saves. I think Kelly can outshine here, and I think the Jets can win this game here, even though they are slight dogs here. And the flip side, the Rangers has decent price points for sure. Mika Zibanejad at 5,700. I mean, that's kind of criminal pricing there. His line mate with Panarin now, obviously skating next to Zibby instead of Trocheck with that line shuffle there. Don't hate that. Alexis Lafreniere has been insane all season long. 4,700, 9K, 5,700. That's not the craziest stack in the world. Not the craziest prices there for the Rangers. I don't hate that. If I were to go to them, I mean, Trocheck, Chris Kreider, and Riley Smith are also fine. Riley Smith at 3,400, solid value there. Same thing with Chris Kreider getting top power play time. He's a decent value there. But yeah, I think my interest definitely resides on the Jets side, but wouldn't fault anyone for playing the Rangers. I just think the Rangers get more ownership here, and I think, like I said, I think the Jets can keep it rolling. Zibby is definitely going to pick up some ownership at that price. He is a little cheap here tonight, it does seem. Next game on the slate here, again, I think this is a really good real-life hockey game. Both these teams are pretty solid. Obviously, Florida coming off the Stanley Cup have definitely dealt with a lot of injuries here tonight, but they're starting to get back healthy. 11-4 to start the year. Devils coming into town, 10-8. I give the slight lean to the Devils here overall. I just think Markstrom's been better. And I think the Devils can get to Florida a little bit here. And no ownership is going to go on the Devils side. All the ownership, as you can see over here, is mainly going on the Florida side. I'll hit on Florida next. First, I'm going to start with the Devils. Really like Jack Hughes a ton here tonight. Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt. I love that two-man mini stack there. You can add in Palat if you want to, but I really like that two-man stack. Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt. Bratt has absolutely destroyed Florida in his history, so I like that. So yeah, give me Jesper, give me Jack Hughes. I prefer Jack to Nico here tonight, and I prefer Jesper as the wings. Dawson Mercer still a really good value at 4,100. Don't hate that. You can definitely play him. from the D-man perspective, Dougie is always a viable option, but I like other spend-ups more. So for me, it's mainly Jack. It's mainly Jesper Bratt on the Devils side. On the Panthers side here, Barkov, good price point at 6,700 at home ice. Sam Reinhart, been playing insane, good price point. Ivan Rodriguez at 3,600, one of the best values on the slate in terms of a wing. You can definitely go there. Florida is deep. I probably prefer the depth guys a little bit more from the Floridas. So jump into like the third line or something like that. I don't hate, but at this ownership, I'm seeing a decent amount of ownership going here. I prefer the Devils side in this game. Florida's fine if you want to get there. And MME, you definitely would include Florida in your stacks here. I'd probably stick to the big guys, right? The Sam Reinharts of the world, the Barkovs of the world. But overall, I'm targeting the Devils more in tournaments here. I will say a great value play. Uvis Belinsky's here, 3,700 top power play. Solid play there. And then Nate Schmidt, another value demon. So Schmidt and Belinsky is both getting power play time, 2,500, 2,700. Both great options there in terms of punt defenders on the slate. Next game on the slate here. This is my hot take of the night here. I will tell you, a lot of ownership is going to go to these Boston guys, and I think the Blues win this game. Blues are my preferred spot in tournaments here. Swayman's not been good. The Bruins, Pastrnak is going to get some ownership because he is too cheap for what his talent is showing. I mean, this dude is usually a $9,500 player. You can argue you're getting about $1,000 discount with him tonight. Brad Marchand at 5,200, just ridiculously too cheap. I mean, I'll be honest. Him, Elias Lindholm, and you can add in Justin Brazeau, but you can just cut it off at Marchand and Lindholm. Second liner, both on the top power play, throw in a Hampus Lindholm, something like that, and you got yourself a nice little three-man power play stack there that fully correlates. But outside of those two guys, I think the Blues win this game. I like the Blues a lot here. Buchnevich I like. Kyrou I like. Braden Shen I like. Jake Neighbors is fine as a value play. Justin Falk and Parayko. This is a spot where I think you could use double D from the same team. You could go a Falk. You could go a Parayko, who both play a ton of minutes. I mean, they're both going to be out there 23 to 25 minutes, both of them. So you can add a Falk at 4,400, add a Parayko at 4,800. Both have been great. And then throw in a Kyrou, a Buchnevich as like a four-man stack. Gets contrarian, gets unique. Obviously, you can add in a Braden Shen. And I think that's one way to stack them up there. Like I said, I think the Blues win this game. This is my hot take of the slate. I like the Blues here at home. And, yeah, give me the Blues here in tournaments. I like them quite a bit. And then Jordan Binnington, I think, is a solid punt goalie option if you're looking for it at 7,300. I prefer to find $300, get up to Hellebuck. But Binnington, if you land there, I think he's a solid option as well. Jumping to the next game here, Edmonton, massive favorites here. I think they're solid plays, but I'm going to be kind of underweight on them personally here. Wouldn't fault anyone going for them, but I do think a lot of people gravitate to Edmonton here, and I just don't like this game a ton in tournaments here. I just look at the numbers. Islanders have been really good defensively. They give up a lot of shots, so I really like Sorokin in terms of goalies at 7,400. The reason being is he's a good goalie. And the Islanders give up a ton of shots that could lead to trouble. Obviously, when you're facing Draisaitl, you're facing McDavid and Hyman and company. But that also means he's got a ton of upside in the tournament. So probably my favorite tournament goalie on the slate would be Sorokin, even though he's on the road. But Edmonton, can you play McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Bouchard? Obviously, you can play them any slate, any given slate they're on. I think they're solid. Like I said, I just going to be underweight on Edmonton here for sure. Numbers look pretty good for Islanders, especially on the road. I mean, they're fourth best defensive hockey team on the road this season in terms of expected goals allowed at almost 2.5 per game. So you need Edmonton at these price points to kind of score a lot or just to be really concentrated. If they only score two goals or 3 goals, I mean, all of them have to come from McDavid and Draisaitl, that line at these price points on this big of a slate. So don't hate it, but like I said, like Sorokin a lot. Islander side still has some pretty solid value overall. Anders Lee at 4,800, still a good value. Jean Gabriel Pageau at 3,800, still good value. But again, prefer the Islander side here, I think, in tournaments, just because I think Skinner isn't been great. Edmund plays no defense. At Skinner at this ownership, I think is ridiculous at 8K. He hasn't been good. Edmonton plays no defense here. So I would much rather flip the script here and go to the Islander side in tournaments. Brock Nelson, Palmieri, Maxime is a great stack for tournaments here tonight on the road. And then even going to Anders Lee, Bo Horvat, and Pajot, nobody wants to play them. They fully correlate 4,800, 3,800, and 6,100. All three skate on the top line and the top power play together. And nobody's going to go to them. And they're playing Edmonton here, who plays absolutely no defense. So I think that's an interesting stack there for sure tonight in tournaments. Jump in the next game from the heaviest favorite on the slate to actually both of these teams rival each other for the heaviest favorites on the slate, Edmonton and Vancouver here. This game, ton of ownership going to go to Vancouver. These price points are kind of criminal here. I'm going to be honest. I do like Vancouver more than Edmonton here tonight for sure. Elias Pettersson at 5,600 is kind of ridiculous. I'm going to be honest. You compare him with Connor Garland. They correlate together on that top power play. Pius Suter, probably my favorite wing value on the entire slate. This dude's playing incredible right now. Top line, top power play at 3.1K. That's ridiculous there. So like him a ton. Quinn Hughes is a spend-up D-man. Excellent play here tonight. Vancouver, definitely the chalk of the slate here, but for a good reason. They're playing the Flames here. They're playing and the Flames, I just don't think are a very good hockey team overall, even though they're 500. Dustin Wolf has been good. If they have a living chance, it's going to have to come on the back of Dustin Wolf in the save percentage. But Vancouver, I think they're due to break a slate. Could be here tonight. I hope not, because they are mega chalk. But if there is a spot that they break the slate, it probably is tonight here, because everybody in the country is going to be on them here tonight. But these price points are kind of ridiculous, to be honest, here in terms of DraftKings pricing. On the flip side, Kadri's got a nice price point at 5,900. Don't hate him. Sharon Govich, you compare him with Kadri. Nice price point on him. Good play. Connor Zary is always a good option at 3,700. The Flames just continue to stay cheap. Mackenzie Weegar at 5,900. Amazing option. I prefer him to Anderson, but both of them are good options there. But Mackenzie Weegar, 5,900, one of the best two-way D-men in the league. Top line, power play as well. So don't hate that. But yeah, Vancouver definitely a smash spot here tonight. In tournaments, Dustin Wolf, definitely a good option. Always can play the goalie, especially a decent goalie at that, against the chalkiest stacks on the slate. So don't fault anyone for that. Last game on the slate here. Love the Kraken here tonight. Facing the Blue Jackets here. The only issue is Kraken are kind of like Dallas last night. I don't think the Kraken are going to come out and score 6 first period goals. However, I do think the scoring is definitely can be spread out for sure with these Kraken here. I love Jared McCann and Eberle, 4,600, 5,900. Love those two guys together. Brandon Montour, absolutely love him from a D-man spend up option at 6,300. Matty B was supposed to be a huge year for him. He's had a slow start, but he's always a good option. Chandler Stevenson, one of the best centers on the slate at the price point at 3,300. So love these Kraken here. They're going to get ownership, but I just don't care. Late night hammer against the Blue Jackets here. Elvis has been pretty good. He's been known to stand on his head. I just think the Kraken are the better hockey team, and they're at home, get to dictate the matchups here. Kraken have kind of stuffled a little bit to start the year. I think they turned that around here. So I like the Kraken a lot here tonight. Late night hammer spot. It is tough to four-man or main stack these guys, just because, like I said, the scoring spread out. So I prefer them more as like a 2 or a 3-man stack than like a 4 or 5-man stack. Obviously, typically you're looking at like a 4-3-1 stack, or I do a lot of 3-3 stacks. That's where I would include the Kraken. Probably not going to get to a 4-man Kraken stack, just because scoring can be so sporadic, and then you kind of shoot yourself in the foot, right, when you have a dude that's stacked in there and he just doesn't do anything. So don't hate that. On the Blue Jackets side, not a lot of interest for me, to be honest. Joey Decord, I think, is a great option in terms of spend up at 8.2K. So yeah, interest definitely resides on the Kraken side. But that's going to do it for this NHL Quick Hit here. As always, my final content is going to be published on the website. head over there, check that out. I'll be in the Discord answering questions. My core plays will be up later this afternoon. But good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see those Shipping Nation logos at the top for myself, Nadesify. Let's ship it.